This is John, and it's October 14th, race of the day. We're going to use Belmont, race 9. It's a mile and a 16th on the inner turf course for 2-year-olds, maiden special weight. And, you know, this is different. It's all handicapping is a situational thing. Yesterday, we had a claiming race, a lower level claiming race with horses that had a lot of experience. And we relied heavily on the plot, the grid, speed figures, form cycle, and all the rest. Today, we have sparse information about these 2-year-olds, and if you were just looking at their pure running lines and didn't have access to OptixNOTES, you wouldn't be able to, you would have limited information on how to do this. So we feel blessed the fact that we have notes, and in notes, we're going to look at also the projections. What we do is we handicap the circuit. We watch the horses, the trainers, everything at the circuit, and really, when you talk about OptixNOTES, it's a combination of trip notes and also projections or handicapping notes. So let's dig in and let's look. We're going to start with the favorite, the number 8, Great Samurai. He ran the best last out. Optix figured 82. It was a B-. If you compare that number to his other races, it's far superior. It almost looks like an outlier. He's had now 3 consecutive big gains in speed figure, 12 points, and now another 9 points. You know, I think this horse might back up a little bit. You know, if you go back 3 races, you see we highlighted drop question mark. What does that mean? It means that we thought the horse probably should be dropped into maiden claiming. And he kind of surprised us a little bit. But we're not so, still sold on him. And if you look, he's coming right back now, 22 days again, off another big effort. We think he's going to back up, don't know how much, but we think he might be a little bit vulnerable in this spot, especially with horses who may have a little bit more upside than him. So let's go and start with the number 1, Clutch Cargo, at the top of the form here. And you can see he was slow out of the gate, he was wide, he was in traffic, and we projected improvement off his debut, which was at Saratoga going 7 furlongs. Now he gets the turf today, so that's the big question mark. But that race on the August 29th was a key race. And if you look at our chart here, what this tells you is that horses that came out of that race, the next time they ran, improved their Optix fig considerably, 13, 16, 14, 8, 6 points. So we know that this race was a very key race. And if we can project a similar improvement on that 67 in debut and Clutch Cargo, then this horse is right in the mix. So again, there's some caveats. This is turf, dirt to turf and all the rest. But Mike Hushin is a trainer. He's a capable guy, and he gets the top rider in Ortiz. So we think that this horse might be, capable of the improve that we've seen coming out of the key race that he was in on the 29th. Right Ben, just never run a figure that looks like he's going to compete today. We don't like the no finish and last. So that's usually a negative keyword. So, and in fact, 2 back, we said this horse should drop into maiden claiming. It looks like he's going to be going to have to do that to compete. So we're going to pass on number 2. Number 3, Barnacle Bill, ran a 52 C at this level. Usually, that's kind of a throw out. But if you look at the right hand, it says the projection is a prep. So he wasn't pushed in this race. They were looking to get a race into him. They may be looking to get another race into him because now it's 57 days since that debut. Would like to see him come back sooner. Now he's trying to turf and go along. Even if he was dramatically better on turf and he improved, like even 20 points would still not be good enough to win today. So we're going to take a pass on Barnacle Bill. We go to the intern, who was slow out of the gate in his debut, going 6 furlongs at Belmont. He wasn't played a stitch in that day. He was not bet. He comes back with Castellano. He's 3-1 in the morning line. He's going to get played. We just think he's going to be undervalued here because he's still going to have to improve on that 76. Not sure he's going to do that. It's a guessing game, but when you're guessing, you want the odds, and I don't think you're going to get them today with the intern. Number 5, Benny Big Boy. We really don't like that last keyword, ouchie. Looks like something may be off with this horse. He hasn't run fast enough. He's a pass for us. Number 6, Millie's Party Boy, is a first-time starter. And, first-time starter in an event like this is, generally something to pay attention to because the ones that run aren't all that great. but we don't like the fact this horse has been entered both times on dirt. One time even below today's level at 35,000 at Monmouth too, sprinting. And it was a vet scratch. So there's just things that we just are not liking on this first time. So they're not coming in here and giving us a strong feeling that this horse is going to be a contender in here. The number 7, we're a little mixed on this horse. If you look at his 2 races, both times he was slow out of the gate or he had trouble out of the gate. That's a worrisome. He improved dramatically. We thought he would out of his debut. We said a stretch. He did stretch. He didn't stretch out. He actually went short and he improved. So maybe with the stretch out today, maybe there's a little bit more upside. We wouldn't throw this guy out. He's going to be a decent price, but he's got some things. He's trying the turf for the first time and he's coming back pretty short rest, 16 days. So I don't know how much improvement we can expect, but in a race, it's a weak race. If he's maybe a backup on a pick 4 ticket or, maybe underneath in the exotics, if he's a big price, it may be worth it there. We've been through the 8, Great Samurai. We'll look at the other first-time starter. And the number 9 is interesting in the fact that he was entered at Saratoga on the turf. That's a different place than the Millie's Party Boy, the other first-time starter who was entered back at Monmouth. He was a vet scratch, but he's getting plenty of time to kind of come back off of that. And, in a race like this, again, why not? If we think he might have some pedigree, I guess. That's kind of secondary for us. We got to see them run. And but anyway, you could do worse, in this race, just taking a shot at him, especially using him, maybe as a second-tier horse in some of your picks. But so anyway, that's the number 9. The next horse is Outrageous Bet. And, he's run okay. I mean, his last one was he ran a number that's pretty competitive here. He did have a free trip, in terms of he was clear out of the traffic. He didn't change leads, but it was at today's distance, today's class. He only ran a C. We only gave him a C+ out of that race in terms of his OptixNOTES grade. We thought he should stretch out after his debut. He did. He did improve. So he could be in the mix at a pretty good price. He's 6-1 in the morning line, so we would consider this guy, using this guy. And then the 11 is a main track only, and if we go to the 1A, this horse is interesting. His debut, he had trouble at the start, and he closed. We projected that he stretch out and improve, and in his next start, he did stretch out a little bit to 6 furlongs, and he did improve. He went from 68 to 77. And out of that race, one thing we noticed in his warm-up, he's got a kind of a quirky style. He's a paddling type. Sometimes those do a lot better on turf, so we're projected maybe on turf. That 77, any improvement on that would put him right in the mix here and make him a big-time contender. He is on the AE list, so he's got to get off of that. So if he gets off of it and the 1 stays in, that 1 entry looks stronger for us. So in review, we're going to take a shot against number 8, the Great Samurai. And, we're considering the 1 in the entry, the 1 and the 1A, if the 1A gets in, as our kind of key contender. And, we would consider some underneath, the 7, the 9, and the 10. Those are the 3 that we would consider the 10. So that's it for us. And again, continue to look at, if you have any questions, send us an email at customer@OptixEQ.com. And again, we're just showing you, the optics tools are varied and there's different ways to apply them. So it's endless, the configurations you can do. So enjoy and good luck at racing.